What's going on? Welcome on into today's trade recap, Monday, September 18th, 2023. We have a one trade, one loss, and done. Didn't really like what I was seeing out there today. So we've got Google here. I'm going to log it in, trade Zella, and I'm going to customize to my system as it was. And I'm also going to play or say we played a bull flag break, the upside. That was the setup. If we go back in time here on this trade, this trade took place at 9:04 a.m. my time, which is an hour later, or I guess market opens at 8:30 my time. So if I pull up Google's chart, here's why I played Google. By far the strongest stock of the day. The only thing is that there just wasn't consistency with its peers, and that's the problem, which I knew going in, which is why I didn't size very, very large. But I'm like, I'm not going to, turn down a breakout to new highs, okay? So Google in general, we had this level that we broke to new highs last week, and then we kind of had almost a double top right here at this 139.55. And I'm like, hey, we break that. That could be a nice move to the upside. That could get us a nice pop. And we did get a decent pop. The problem was that it wasn't really enough. I shouldn't even say we got a decent pop. We got a very minimal pop. And that pop is indicated by these candles right here. So I played the break up here and got a little move in my direction. I was green momentarily. Go back to this chart or this trade. We can go back into Trade Zella and see. At one point, I was up $57. But, as you guys know, that's not enough for me to take profits. So I didn't take profits, and we end up having this thing come back on us, and we stop out for a loss of $48. That was it. But my essentially my size was 639. Based on the contracts I'm looking at, I'm making sure that I'm not going to lose more than 100 on a trade. $100 is my rough risk per trade. I try to be as good as close to that as possible. So in this case, not the end of the world. It was about a 30-minute trade, not too bad, but like grand scheme, right? Here's Google's chart, right? Let's go to the 1 hour charts. Here's Google's 1 hour. Like, look at QQQ on the 1 hour, like not the same, like at all. Look at SPY in the 1 hour. Very similar to QQQ on SPY when it loads in the second here. It's just like we're kind of trending down the past couple of days, so really didn't, If we had run up off the open and popped back up, yeah, that would have worked probably, but just no momentum there at all. So you have to understand that. I knew that well, and I was well aware of that going in. I had kind of been navigating decently despite essentially this kind of up and down across the S&P and the NAS the past couple of weeks. Been like 3 weeks now, I feel like, where it just hasn't given us clear direction. And it's like, despite that, I was able to go, I had 7 winning days in a row, even though they weren't great. If you guys go back to last week's recap, they weren't great. None of these trades, none of these days in this 7-day stretch, I think were great, except last Friday was pretty good. But outside of that, like there wasn't a lot of consistency and whatnot. So we had a mistake on Wednesday, the 6th, which I'm covering right here. I'm covering these up, sorry. But we had, 7th through the 15th, we were green every single day. Were we green every trade? No, but we were able to come out on top every single day. Whatever that means, whatever that's worth. But this is the big day. We had some more mental errors, more mistakes, just kind of trying to push when it just wasn't there. And so when I saw that action today, essentially is what I was seeing today. I come back, I say, okay, I had the Google loss. I'm like, okay. What's SPY doing? And I see SPY, right? And SPY is essentially chopping around in this range from 433 or 443.85 open down here towards like literally a $1 range. SPY is in a $1 range for like the first 2 hours of the day. Then it breaks out. But in this breakout, the strongest stock, Google, at least on my list, which was at the time, well, at least bigger picture chart wise, it was strong. Apple's now the strongest of the day of my list, which is now just above my head, if you can kind of see like up here. Google was not pushing new high of the day. So I'm like, well, there's no strength here. Like there's no consistency in these moves. So this is just one of those days where you walk away. Because I didn't really like anything on the downside, to be honest. Didn't love, there were some better looks, maybe Tesla, but honestly, Tesla, bigger picture, was so strong the past 2 weeks. It's like, So one of those days, walk away, got a haircut, did other things. I had some other work I had to get done, got that stuff done. And so here we are making this trade recap. I'm about to do a live stream for the next like 30 minutes after this. Other things to do. So it's just one of those days where there's no reason to push. And that's, you know, essentially me learning from mistakes of this past, of 2 Wednesdays ago, I guess, almost. So it is what it is. Small loss, will take it. We're currently 50% on the month, which I think is great. If we continue it at 50% and our average win-loss continues at this pace of average winners being 93 and average losers being 71, great. That's going to be a really good strategy. You know, won't make $1 million every day, but it will be consistent over time, and that's all I'm looking for. So that's that. That's today's trade recap. I'll leave links to TradeZella below. Also, yeah, sorry, one last thing I forgot to mention. On top of this, going up to this level of resistance on Google, I did want to mention I was looking at Bookmap, which I have been watching Bookmap pretty much on all my trades. There was a monster mega seller or orders just sitting up here at 140. Look at this massive on the heat map. It's insane, just relatively speaking. So tons of orders stacking up there. We tapped it, and I was like, once we didn't break that, I was like, I have my feelings. This is not going to be good. And it started to break down, broke the higher low pattern, and it just kind of sputtered out for the rest of the day and did nothing. So that right there was also telling. Had we had broken that level, we would have gotten I think we would have gotten a nice pop, and this would have been a really good trade. We came up to it, couldn't break it, fell back off, broke structure, broke trend, and then the writing was on the wall. So just figure I'd mention that as well, just because I was looking at that, and that's what I also use on a daily basis now, which I'll link that up as well in the video description box. Like always, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.